If you're over 60, this message could save your life. You might think a glass of milk before bed is one of the safest, most wholesome things you can do. But what if I told you that certain types of milk, yes, milk, could be quietly raising your risk of stroke overnight? No chest pain, no warning signs. You go to sleep feeling fine and wake up unable to speak, lift your arm, or remember your name. As a neurologist, I've treated far too many older adults who thought they were doing everything right, drinking heart-healthy, calcium-rich, low-fat, plant-based or senior-targeted milk products, only to suffer silent, devastating brain events that rob them of their independence in an instant. In this video, I'm going to expose 5 types of milk that could be silently harming your brain, especially when taken at the wrong time, in the wrong form, or without medical guidance. Backed by science and real patient stories, what you're about to learn may change what you keep in your refrigerator forever. So stay with me, because the very thing you believe is protecting your health may be the one quiet habit destroying it one glass at a time. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. High calcium milk fortified with vitamin D. The silent stroke risk in your fridge. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Drink your milk. It's good for your bones. And as we age, many of us double down on that advice. High calcium milk, especially the kind fortified with vitamin D, is everywhere in senior nutrition. It's marketed as bone protective, life extending, and safe. But what if I told you that the very thing you're drinking to stay strong may be silently setting you up for a stroke in your sleep? As a neurologist with over 30 years of experience treating older adults, I've seen too many cases where a seemingly harmless glass of milk became the silent trigger for something catastrophic. One of my patients, Mr. William Harris, a 78-year-old retired firefighter from Michigan, was as disciplined about his health as anyone I've ever met. Every night before bed, he'd drink an 8-oz glass of high-calcium milk, fortified with 1,000 IU of vitamin D. "Keeps the bones strong, Doc," he told me proudly. He believed he was doing everything right until one morning his wife found him on the kitchen floor disoriented, unable to speak, his right hand twitching, his balance completely gone. A silent overnight stroke. No headache, no warning signs. Just a moment and everything changed. What happened? His blood tests revealed dangerously high calcium levels. His arteries were stiff, his blood pressure had spiked during the night. The culprit, excessive calcium paired with nighttime vitamin D intake. You see, when vitamin D boosts calcium absorption too much and that calcium enters the bloodstream without being used by your bones, your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it starts depositing it in your arteries, making them stiff, narrow, and brittle. This process is even more dangerous at night when the body naturally dehydrates and blood pressure tends to spike. The result, a perfect storm in an aging brain. And here's what's even more terrifying. The symptoms of high calcium and early vascular damage are subtle. Slight confusion in the morning, occasional dizziness, maybe a little memory fog. Most seniors write these off as just aging, but by the time a major stroke hits, the damage is already done and often permanent. Mr. Harris survived, but his speech hasn't fully returned. He uses a walker now. He can no longer drive, and every time he tries to recall a word and can't find it, he looks at me with fear in his eyes. Was it the milk, Doc? Yes, it was. The American diet is flooded with high-calcium dairy products, and the vitamin D in them is often far more than aging kidneys and blood vessels can handle safely, especially when consumed at night. If you're drinking milk like this regularly, and especially if you're taking calcium supplements too, you may be gambling with your brain every single night. The cost, your mobility, your voice, your ability to recognize your grandchildren's faces. So, you may think you're protecting your bones, but ask yourself this: at what cost to your brain? And if you think you're safe because you've switched to low-fat milk, think again. What's hiding inside that bottle may be even worse. If you're still watching, and finding these insights helpful. Please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Low-fat milk with added phosphates, the heart-healthy option that can crush your brain. For years, low-fat milk has been sold to older Americans as the smart choice. Good for your heart, better for your waistline, and easier to digest. It's on every grocery store shelf, often stamped with bold promises, heart-healthy, cholesterol-free. But what those labels don't tell you is the real danger hiding inside many of these cartons. Inorganic phosphate additives, a silent and powerful chemical threat to your brain, especially if you're over 65. Let me tell you about Mrs. Irene Schultz, a 74-year-old retired schoolteacher from Ohio. She had switched to low-fat milk a few years ago, trying to follow all the advice she'd heard about heart health. Every morning with her cereal and again in the evening she'd drink an 8 oz glass. "It's lighter, better for my heart," she told me with confidence when I first met her. What she didn't know was that the milk she chose was fortified, not just with vitamins but with phosphate additives to make it taste creamier and extend shelf life. 3 years into this healthier habit, Irene began experiencing morning dizziness. At first, it was just a little lightheadedness when getting out of bed. Then her hands started shaking slightly, her memory got foggier, and she nearly fell twice in 1 week. When her son finally brought her into my office, her blood pressure was swinging wildly between high and low, her blood vessels were stiffening, her kidney function borderline. Her brain scans showed early signs of reduced cerebral blood flow, and the underlying cause, phosphate toxicity. You see, phosphate additives in processed milk aren't the same as the natural phosphates found in whole foods. These are inorganic phosphates absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream. In seniors who already have declining kidney function, these phosphates build up in the body, silently accelerating vascular calcification, damaging blood vessels and leading to increased stroke risk. It doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up on you, starting with imbalance, then memory loss, and one morning, a stroke you never saw coming. Mrs. Schultz was lucky. We caught it early. She cut out the low-fat processed milk and switched to real whole food sources of calcium and protein. But the damage, some of it was irreversible. Her short-term memory never fully came back. She no longer drives. Her independence, her freedom, was the price she paid for a label that promised to help her. And what's worse, this isn't rare. The majority of low-fat and skim milks in American supermarkets now contain phosphate additives. The FDA allows them. The cartons rarely warn you. But if you're a senior with high blood pressure, early kidney disease, or a history of heart issues, this milk is not your friend. It may be one of the most dangerous things in your fridge. So, if you think cutting fat is the safest bet, I urge you, read the label, ask your doctor, and don't fall for promises printed in bold type. But if this shook you, wait until you hear what happens when seniors start drinking soy milk. To balance hormones and support aging. Because what it really may be doing is rewiring your blood vessels and pushing estrogen into dangerous territory. 3. Soy milk with estrogen boosters. The healthy aging myth that could wreck your brain. In recent years, soy milk has gained popularity among seniors for being heart-friendly, plant-based, and gentle on the stomach. It's often praised for its protein and its potential to balance hormones, especially in older women. Many labels even advertise supports healthy aging or promotes hormonal balance. But behind those comforting words lies a growing danger that too few people are talking about. Excess estrogen-like compounds in soy products and their quiet long-term effects on the aging brain and blood vessels. I remember one of my patients vividly, Mrs. Gloria Benson, 69 years old, a retired music teacher from Oregon. She switched to soy milk about 5 years ago after reading that it might help with menopause symptoms and memory. She drank it every day, sometimes twice, always the version labelled Estro Balance or Menopause Support fortified with added isoflavones, natural compounds in soy that mimic estrogen in the body. At first, she felt fine. Then slowly changes began. She started feeling foggy in the mornings. Her blood pressure crept up, but only intermittently, enough to be dismissed. Over time, her migraines returned, and then came the real alarm. She began having trouble with her speech. Some days, she couldn't recall simple words. One morning, she stood in the kitchen and couldn't find her balance. Her husband brought her to the ER thinking it might be a stroke. The scans were clean, but her brain was under enormous vascular stress. What was happening inside her body was subtle but dangerous. The phytoestrogens in soy, especially in concentrated or fortified forms, act like weak estrogens in the body. In younger women, this might not cause issues. But in older adults, especially those with existing vascular fragility or on medications that affect hormones or clotting, these compounds can influence blood vessel tone, increase inflammation, and disrupt the delicate regulation of cerebral blood flow. And when taken over time, they can contribute to silent ischemic damage. Tiny, unnoticed strokes that accumulate over the years. In Gloria's case, she wasn't taking hormones. She wasn't on blood thinners. But the daily repeated exposure to plant estrogen slowly influenced her vascular system enough to cause many strokes and cognitive changes. She now needs speech therapy twice a week. She told me with tears in her eyes, "I was trying to do something natural. I didn't know it could mess with my brain." And here's the most chilling part. Many soy milk products don't list the isoflavone content clearly. Even without added fortification, soy itself is rich in compounds that mimic hormones. For aging brains, this is not always a benefit. It can be a burden, one that slowly rewires how your blood vessels react, how your brain clears toxins, and how pressure inside the skull is managed. So, if you're over 60 and reaching for soy milk to support your hormones or boost your memory, I urge you to pause, ask your doctor, review what else you're taking, because what seems natural can quietly become neurological. And if you thought plant-based milk was the safe choice, wait until you hear what happens when sweetened milk or artificially flavoured healthy dairy drinks start manipulating your blood sugar and tricking your brain into overdrive, setting you up for a fall you never see coming. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Milk with added sugar or artificial sweeteners. The sweet taste that silently starves your brain. It's subtle. It looks innocent. That Or vanilla the lightly almond sweetened milk in oat your milk you fridge. splash into your morning coffee. Maybe it's labelled heart healthy, low sugar, or diabetic friendly. But make no mistake, if you're over 60, sweetened or artificially flavoured milk could be silently setting your brain on a dangerous path. I remember one patient well, Mr. Clarence Doyle, 72, a retired Vietnam veteran from Nevada. He had been drinking a flavoured oat milk daily, believing it was a healthy alternative to dairy. The label said only 6 grams of sugar and no added colours. He mixed it into smoothies, his oatmeal, and his evening tea. "It helps me wind down," he told me. But slowly his mornings became strange. He felt foggy, light-aided, sometimes confused. His wife told me he would get up to use the bathroom, but by the time he reached the hallway, he'd forget why he was there. One morning, he collapsed. He was rushed to the ER, and though it wasn't a full stroke, his brain scans showed early signs of vascular inflammation and fluctuating blood sugar-related stress, particularly in areas responsible for balance and memory. What most people don't realize is that sugar, whether from cane, agave, or artificial substitutes like sucralose, can spike blood sugar, cause insulin swings, and lead to chronic inflammation in the blood vessels feeding your brain. For seniors who often have slower metabolism, impaired insulin sensitivity, and aging microvessels, this combination can be deadly over time. The morning slowness, the afternoon dizziness, the blurry memory. These aren't just signs of aging. They may be your brain gasping for stability in the face of constant sugar shock. Even so-called unsweetened flavoured milks often contain additives and flavour enhancers that fool your brain's reward system, prompting unnecessary insulin release or increasing cravings. Over time, these biochemical disruptions can lead to silent strokes, heightened dementia risk, and reduced ability to regulate blood pressure during sleep. Mr. Doyle thankfully recovered. He cut all sweetened drinks, including his beloved oat milk, from his diet. He switched to whole foods, balanced meals and hydration. And though some memory lapses remain, He's regained control of his mornings and his confidence. I had no idea my little nightcap was doing that to me, he told me. So if that carton in your fridge seems safe because it's plant-based or lightly sweetened, take another look. For aging brains, there's no such thing as a harmless sugar trick. But if you think the dangers end there, think again. Because in the next class, we'll uncover the hidden risks lurking in senior nutrition powders that claim to help you live longer, but may be quietly stealing your clarity step by step. 5. Powdered milk for seniors without doctor supervision. The brain health formula that may be slowly harming you. Walk into any pharmacy or grocery store and you'll see them lined up neatly on the shelf. Colourful cans of powdered milk supplements labelled for seniors' brain support or complete nutrition for ageing adults. They promise strength, energy, memory, even longer life. But what most older adults don't realise is that these formulas are not one size fits all. And when used without medical supervision, they may quietly do more harm than good, especially to your brain. I'll never forget Mrs. Linda Mayfield, a 76-year-old widow from Colorado who came to my clinic complaining of dizziness, ringing in her ears, and a strange fog in her thinking. She said it started slowly but got worse after breakfast every day. When I asked what she was eating, she proudly told me she drank a senior health shake each morning. Just 2 scoops of powdered milk mixed with water packed with added calcium, vitamins A, D, B6, E and omega-3s. I don't even need breakfast anymore. But when we ran her labs, the picture was alarming. Her blood calcium was elevated. Her vitamin D levels were twice the safe range. Her B6 was off the charts, and her blood pressure spiked within 30 minutes of drinking the shake. A brain scan showed early signs of vascular inflammation. Linda was unintentionally overdosing her brain every morning, thinking she was doing something healthy. Here's what too many people miss. Many powdered milk supplements marketed to seniors are overloaded with megadoses of fat-soluble vitamins like A and D, which accumulate in your body. Especially dangerous when your liver and kidneys slow down with age. They also often contain excess B6, which can damage nerves over time, and calcium levels that stiffen blood vessels when not balanced correctly. What's most heartbreaking is that Linda wasn't reckless. She was trying to stay independent, to protect her mind and her body, but no one warned her. No one told her that taking multiple brain-supporting ingredients in a single shake could backfire. The cost. She now takes medication for balance. Her memory hasn't fully recovered. She stopped driving, fearful of another dizzy spell on the road. She told me quietly one day, "I thought I was feeding my brain. I didn't know I was overloading it." And she's not alone. Thousands of older adults rely on these powders daily without guidance, without lab checks, unaware of how individualized nutrition truly is after age 60. Your brain doesn't need a powdered promise. It needs precision, understanding, and balance. So, if you're standing in front of a shelf of nutrition powders wondering which one might help you stay sharp, I urge you don't buy into marketing alone. Ask your doctor. Know your numbers because what you don't know can hurt you. But don't worry, there is a safer, smarter way to fuel your brain each morning using real foods that protect your memory, balance your blood pressure, and support your independence for years to come. Let me show you exactly what to eat and drink instead. 6. What to eat and drink instead to protect your brain. After everything we've discussed, the silent risks hiding in your milk, your supplements, your healthy choices, you may be wondering what's left, what's truly safe. The answer is simpler than you think. Your body, especially your aging brain, was never meant to rely on pills or powders for nourishment. It was designed to thrive on real food, whole, unprocessed, nutrient-rich meals that give your brain what it truly needs. Stable energy, hydration, and the right balance of natural vitamins and minerals. I think about Mrs. Carol Lyman, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Pennsylvania, who came to see me after experiencing months of morning dizziness, forgetfulness, and fatigue. She had been trying everything: vitamin-fortified milk, powdered drinks for seniors, even over-the-counter brain supplements. Her kitchen looked more like a pharmacy than a place to eat, but despite all the promises on those labels, her health was slowly slipping. We cleared her counter. We stopped every non-essential supplement, And we replaced it with one thing, a plate built for brain health. Each morning, Carol now starts her day with a soft-boiled egg, half an avocado, a slice of whole-grain toast, and a handful of blueberries. She drinks a glass of room-temperature water and sometimes adds in a few walnuts. No pills, no sweetened drinks, just real food in real portions at real times. Within 3 weeks, her dizziness stopped. Her blood pressure normalized. She even began walking without her cane again. Sharper. Her mind and body finally started working together, not against each other. Here's why it works. Eggs provide choline, vital for memory. Avocados give healthy fats that protect neurons. Whole grains keep blood sugar stable, essential for preventing brain fog and vascular stress. Blueberries and walnuts are packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help prevent microvascular damage and cognitive decline. Water rehydrates your brain after a long night, improving clarity and alertness. These foods don't shock your system. They support it. They don't overwhelm your liver or kidneys. They don't spike your blood sugar. They simply nourish your brain the way nature intended. And let's be honest, food like this doesn't just heal your body. It restores your sense of dignity. It reminds you that you're still in control, that you can eat well, feel strong, and stay sharp without relying on corporate health gimmicks. But too many older adults never hear this message. They keep chasing pills, powders, and miracle drinks, not realizing the key to their independence has always been sitting on their plate. Don't let clever marketing steal your clarity. Don't trade your mind for a label. Now you might be asking, how many other healthy habits have been secretly harming me all along? That's the question I want to leave you with, because in this final message, I'll reveal the most powerful medicine left for your brain. And no, it's not found in your fridge or your cabinet. It's something far deeper, something most seniors forget they still have. The most powerful medicine left: awareness. If you've stayed with me this far, it means you're not just hoping to live longer. You're fighting to live better. And that fight doesn't begin with another bottle, another pill, or another trendy health drink. It begins with one thing no one can sell you: awareness. As a neurologist, I've watched strong, capable people lose everything, not because they made one terrible mistake, but because of small daily choices they thought were safe. Glass of milk here, a supplement there. And over time, those habits marketed as healthy slowly chipped away at their balance, their memory, their independence. You don't need to fear everything, but you do need to question, read every label, listen to your body. If something feels off, morning dizziness, foggy memory, unsteady walking, don't brush it off as age. It could be your brain's cry for help. The truth is, your brain is still listening. It's still fighting for you. But it needs you to stop feeding it confusion and start feeding it clarity. The most powerful medicine isn't found in a pharmacy. It's in what you choose to put on your plate, what you choose to stop taking, and most importantly, what you choose to understand. Awareness won't just protect your brain, it will preserve your freedom. And that may be the most valuable gift you have left to give yourself. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.